Today, our St. Louis Dragons have an interdivision doubleheader. We're going to be headed on the road to face off against the Los Angeles Rams and the San Francisco 49ers. Currently, the Dragons are 3-1 atop the NFC West as these two teams attempt to dethrone us. We beat Seattle at their place last week, 24-17, in order to take first place in the division in what ended up being a pretty competitive game. It was the Seahawks who started off hot. They led 10-0 through the first quarter, but after that, our defense really locked in, and the offense did what they needed to after a slow start. The biggest storyline here was the performance of Simeon Bonnet, who had 5 tackles for loss and 3 sacks, winning the NFC's Defensive Player of the Week. Simeon Bonnet has been on a tear. 6 sacks over the last 2 games, and it really looks like we're going to get the dominant version of Bonnet that we saw during his rookie season and his Defensive Player of the Year season 2 years ago. So far, he has been well worth the $160 million extension. Today we'll be facing off against the Rams and the Niners, both on the road before the bye week. 2 more interdivisional games. We're getting a lot of them out of the way early here. Both of these games are going to be on the road as well. I get that the Rams and the Niners aren't the best, especially the Rams, and obviously these are 2 teams who we've performed very well against historically, but they're divisional road games. I don't want to take them lightly. We'll start with the Rams, who are 0-4. This season has been a disaster for them. One of their 4 losses was against us back in week 3. We played these guys just 2 weeks ago, winning 27-17. It wasn't a perfect game by any stretch, especially considering we played against one of the worst teams in the NFL, but ultimately a win's a win. The offense was sloppy with the turnovers, but we were still able to move the ball. Simeon Bonnet, of course, had the 3 sacks, but the biggest storyline was Aaron Donald, who had 10 tackles for loss, an NFL record. Donald was not able to single-handedly carry the Rams to a win, hence why they're 0-4. So the Rams have a big storyline of their own coming into the day, as Deshaun Watson has been benched. First-round draft pick Gavin Hennessy will make his first NFL start, with Watson losing his spot after 4 games. Hennessy, the first-rounder out of Alabama, has not played an NFL snap yet until today, and his first test will be our red-hot defense, who's played really well 2 weeks in a row. Obviously, the Rams' offensive talent is lackluster. Defensively, they're led by 37-year-old Aaron Donald, who has not lost a step. Donald is within 10 sacks of breaking the all-time sack record. I would like to think he's not going to break that today, but considering he broke the single-game tackle for loss record against us 2 weeks ago, I'm not going to rule anything out. Outside of Aaron Donald, though, this roster is lacking. They are an older team, they're lacking high-end talent, and the combination of both of those is a problem. I don't really foresee the Rams being a good team for a while unless either Gavin Hennessy ends up being really good really quick, or the Rams completely overhaul it and sell the farm. So let's hop into this matchup here in Week 5, the first of a 2-game doubleheader. The St. Louis Dragons, sitting at 3-1, look to improve the interdivision win streak against the Rams team, who obviously is not too good, 0-4. Historically, we have really played well against the Rams in this series. We did split them last year, but for the most part, we've had their number. But again, the last thing we want to do is play down the competition against an interdivision opponent on the road, especially with the wild card of Gavin Hennessy. There's no film on him. We have nothing to go off of. He can play as freely as he wants. So the Dragons are going to start with it. Here's Milan Santa on 3rd and 3 with a big run down the sideline of the 40. Milan Santa started the year a little bit banged up, but over the last few weeks, I feel like he's played really well. He's taken a real leap here in his 2nd season. Puma Whitlock up the middle. He's got Isaiah Likely, and he brings it to the 21-yard line for a gain of 19. The Dragons' offense is wasting no time. They are getting right to business as they now have it at the 3. 2nd and goal, looking to punch it in. It's Milan Santa with nobody near him. Naruto runs into the end zone for a touchdown. A quick start for the Dragons offense, looking to set the tone early. A really good drive by Milan Santa, and it's 7-0. Let's take a look at Gavin Hennessy, the top 10 draft pick out of the University of Alabama, leading the Rams offense. His first NFL pass is caught for a gain of 13 by Romeo Doubs. Doubs has been one of the few bright spots for this Rams team over the first 4 weeks of the year. He's played really well despite their struggles. 2nd and 10 now for L.A. Hennessy hands it off for Chubb, and he is losing 3. Simeon Bonnet leads the way. Bonnet's been a great run defender throughout his career, but I feel like this season he's taken another leap in that area of his game. 3rd and 13 now. Hennessy has all the time in the world to throw it. No pass rush to speak of as he connects with Kambiz Shakabi for a first down. I can't blame the coverage or the secondary at all. They had to cover for 10 consecutive seconds. Hennessy up the middle, back to Shakabi, who brings it to the 9. Welcome to the league, rookie. 4 for 4, 52 yards. A great opening drive for Gavin Hennessy. 3rd and goal. Hennessy is incomplete as he is hit in the backfield by DJ Orleans, who's had a productive season as a pass rusher, despite the fact that he does not have any sacks through the first 4 games. The field goal from Chad Ryland is up and good. It's nice getting the stop in the red zone, but that was not a very good first drive defensively. Gavin Hennessy looked really good. St. Louis with it. Puma looks downfield on 3rd and 1. He connects with Arturo Modelo to the 31, and that'll wrap up the first quarter. The Dragons' offense looks really impressive so far as we move into the second. First play of the quarter, Puma Whitlock on the move. He gets it to Jamison Williams on the out route. He gets the first to the 19. Puma's 8 for 10 so far. He's been really efficient up to this point as he looks for Joe Mixon, who is introduced to Aaron Donald. His first tackle for loss of the game. Doesn't look like he'll get 10 today, but I imagine he'll get a handful. 2nd and 11 now. Puma looking short. He's got Amarian Cephas untouched. Not into the end zone. He's down at the 1. Amarian Cephas ran out of bounds. Not ideal. It won't matter, though, because Arturo Modelo will score on the very next play. It's Modelo time as the Dragons make it 14-3. And Amarian Cephas fantasy owners can go cry in a corner. So the Rams have it back, already having to play catch-up with the hot start from the Dragons' offense. Hennessy, play action, goes short for DeAndre Washington, who does not get the first down. Big tackle by Jalen Bourgeois, the safety, who, of course, played his college ball not too far away at UCLA. Dragons back with it. Here's Milan Santa with room. A juke and a spin. He brings it to the 39. Already a quick start for Santa, continuing his impressive start to the year. From the 39, Puma's under pressure. He is sacked by Josh Allen for a loss of 7. Allen, the veteran, with a big play for the Rams pass rush. 2nd and long. Puma under pressure. He is trying to escape the sack, and he does not. Josh Allen again with back-to-back sacks. Donald with pressure as well. It's now 3rd and 31 for St. Louis. Puma looking downfield. He's got a wide open man. It's Mallard! The rookie, Jalen Mallard, has it all the way to the 8. What a play for the Dragons offense after back-to-back sacks. Puma Whitlock calls an audible. He gets his rookie to run a streak route, and Jalen Mallard gets a huge gain. 3rd and goal, broke it up for Isaiah Likely in the end zone. That's Ryan Neal who makes the play. Finally, the Rams defense gets a stop, but the Dragons should be able to tack on 3. The chip shot from 22 yards out is good for Cameron Dicker, the kicker, and that'll make it 17-3. Rams back with it. We'll see what Gavin Hennessy can do. I feel like he's barely had the ball. The Dragons have dominated time of possession. Here's Nick Chubb. Annihilates Okuda, and he gets it to the 45. Nick Chubb's been pretty productive today. Certainly different from what we've seen from the Dragons' run defense early in the year, as our run defense has been fantastic so far, but today not so much. 3rd and 3. Hennessy looks short. He gets the first down as that one goes to the 39-yard line over to Romeo Doubs. 2-minute warning from the 29. It's Nick Chubb who breaks a tackle and is into the 10. Gavin Hennessy continues to have an awesome debut. He's been calm in the pocket, poised, going through his progressions, making a ton of big-time throws so far. 2nd and goal from the 8. Hennessy looking for his first touchdown, and he'll get it to the tight end, Kambiz Shakabi, who scored in the meeting between these two teams back in Week 3. So with that, it's 17-10. Rams making it a ball game. 3rd and 3. Puma Whitlock up the middle. He's got Amarian Cephas for the first down. St. Louis calls their first timeout at the 42. Now down to 1 timeout in around 30 seconds. 2nd and 5. Puma going to look to run with it. Scrambling to the left. Going to try to get out of bounds, and he does. What a play by Puma Whitlock. I get it's only a gain of 5, but a first down stops the clock. Now with 20 to go, lobs it up for Modelo, who gets it to the 13, and St. Louis uses their last timeout. They could go for the field goal, make it a 2-score game, but with 17 seconds, they're going to look for the end zone. Puma's going to look to scramble a little bit. He's going to run with it, and it's down at the 8. Boneheaded decision by Puma because they can't get back to the line of scrimmage in time, and that'll wrap up the first half. I'm not sure if Puma Whitlock thought that his team had another timeout, or if he thought they could get back to the line of scrimmage quick enough to spike the ball. But nonetheless, a rare mental mistake by Puma Whitlock. That kind of deflates the momentum from what otherwise was a really good first half offensively. Dragons lead 17-10. Let's take a look at our halftime report as we peep in on the other two NFC West teams. It's been all San Francisco and Seattle. The Niners lead 24-7, and of course we'll play the Niners later today. In Las Vegas, the Texans taking care of business as they lead it 14-0 in the battle of a pair of Ohio State quarterbacks, with C.J. Stroud facing off against Irwin Dundee. And in Minnesota, we've got a good game so far here, tied up at 14. The other top draft pick at quarterback, Simone Rashid IV, has played really well so far. The Vikings are 3-1. They look like the best team in the NFC North right now, and that's because of Rashid's play as a rookie. Let's go into the second half here. I thought offensively looked really good, minus that last play. But I really still want to focus on the passing game because it looks like the Rams might give us a shootout. Gavin Hennessy has looked awesome up to this point, and we've got to figure out how to stop him. 3rd and 7 from the 24. Here's Hennessy, again with plenty of time, gets the first down to Romeo Doubs, breaks a tackle, down the field, he brings it all the way to the 35. So first of all, the pass rush there, again, abysmal. The Dragons' pass rush has been great this year, but today they have looked lost. The tackling on that play was also horrible. Following play, short throw is caught, but for a loss of yards. Penultimo Barahona leads the way for a tackle for loss. And I forgot to mention this before the game, but Barahona actually has a breakout opportunity, so that's going to go towards his breakout chance as Jabril Fofana comes flying into the backfield here on 3rd down as he's in with the sack off the blitz. And finally, the Dragons get their first sack of the game. 3rd and 20 now from the 46. Hennessy alone in the backfield, looks to throw it. Again, he's got plenty of time. Bonnet and company trying to get to him. He's going to lob it up, and it's caught inside the 10 to the 6. Gavin Hennessy has had way too much time to throw the ball today, and he's been able to make some magic with the time he's had in the pocket. And to make matters worse, Malachi Weston is hurt. Nick Chubb walks into the end zone. We're tied. The Dragons looked like they had a chance to go for a blowout early. It was 17-3 at one point. Now we're knotted up at 17. The defense has started to falter. The pass rush has been a joke. And now St. Louis looks to respond on offense. It'll be an RPO for Jamo with a nice block from Cephas. Boing! Jumps over a man, and he brings it to the 45 for a gain of 30. Puma Whitlock is 17 for 21 for 266. He is balling as he gets it to Modelo on the slant, and he brings it inside the 20. Puma Whitlock cannot be stopped. The Rams have no answer for him as the Dragons have it at the 17. Following play, Puma under pressure, gets it to Jamison Williams, who breaks a tackle, jukes away from a defender, and he gets it to the 5. This passing offense is just moving so swimmingly, but they've got to punch it in. 3rd and goal. Darwin Juskins is not in. He's just short. Stopped at the 1 by Wyatt Berglund, Puma's former college teammate at Ohio State. As you know, St. Louis is going to be aggressive, looking to punch it in here on 4th and goal. They're going to look to really take a dent into this scoreboard rather than go for the field goal, as Puma Whitlock is going through his options, trying to find the right play here with the Rams having a loaded front. Puma's looking short. He's got Modelo for the score. The Rams had everybody on the line. Nobody was in the box, which led to a ton of open space. Modelo on the slant is able to find the space. And with that, St. Louis is back ahead 24-17. What a drive by Puma Whitlock, who has been brilliant today. 3rd and 7. The rookie Hennessy is sacked by Malachi Weston for a loss of 10. Malachi Weston continues to be such a pleasant surprise. A former second-rounder by the Saints, cut in the offseason, and he has been really good. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Milan Santa loses 3, wrapped up by the former first-rounder Caleb Mabin. 3rd and long now from around the 40. Puma's an empty. Looking to run another audible. What type of magic does he have here? As he's calling out everybody to run new routes. Looks to throw it under some pressure. Finds a hole in the pocket. Gonna look to run with it. Jukes away from the defender. And he almost got the first down, gaining 11. But he is stopped by Josh Allen and Caleb Maben. The Dragons would punt it, the responsible decision, as the Rams get it back. 1:20 left in the third. What a pass here for the tight end, Cambiz Shakaby, as he beats Owen Popo on the route. Popo is awfully inconsistent in man coverage. As good as he is, in man, I feel like he has a lot of slip-ups. Chubb on the run, slammed in the backfield for a loss of 2 by guess who? Simeon Bonnet, as the rookie receiver out of Georgia, Boubacar Barry, is banged up. 3rd and 11, under 20 to go in the third. It's a screen for Chubb. He's got blocks. He's got the first down and is lit up by Saluni. Can't let them get first downs on screens like that, as that brings us into the fourth quarter. The Dragons appear to be in control, but the Rams are making it a game. Dobbs loses yards in the backfield. It's Owen Popo who comes flying in, reading the RPO perfectly, forcing a loss of 2. 2nd and 12, back to Chubb. He's losing more yards. Simeon Bonnet and Ryan Nada bring him down. 3rd and 14 now from the 44. They're not really in field goal range. They've got to get a first down here, or at least close, and they're not going to. Malachi Weston again, his 2nd sack of the game, and his hot start to the year continues. This kid is a real playmaker. I don't think it's a fluke at this point. Malachi Weston is really good. The Dragons have it, but with bad field position, as Juskins is tackled at the 3 by Caleb Maben. 3rd and 6 now from the 10. St. Louis just trying to make sure they avoid the safety. Puma's going to look to run with it up the middle. Going to scramble. He's going to get a block from Cephas and gets the first down. Amarion Cephas has done really good as a blocker today. I'm impressed. And obviously, what a run by Puma. He has no time to throw it here on first down, as Raffaello Scarello leads the way for the sack, forcing a loss of 8. 3rd and 14 now with around 6 to go. Puma's looking for the screen. He's got Milan Santa, who's got a little bit of room, but isn't really able to do anything. He only gets around 7. Caleb Maben is there to make the play as the Rams get this stop, and the Dragons will look to punt it here on 4th down. Presley Harvin boots this one away, and it will be received all the way back at around the 30. Here's a nice return, though. Look at this. Can Juszczyk catch up? Yes, he will. But the Rams start at the 24. Great field position on the punt return by Leonardo Silva. And LA's got a golden opportunity to tie the game. 3rd and 2 from the 16. It's a handoff for Chubb, and he does not get it. Big stop by Bubba Watkins, who, of course, was acquired in the Devin White trade with New England. The Rams are going to go for it here on 4th and 3. Hennessy looks to go short. It's caught for a first down as Dobbs quickly goes to the ground after converting the 4th down play. 2nd and 7 now from the 8th. The Rams are pretty close to actually tying this game up, as it's an RPO. Cambiz Shakaby gets it to the 1. They're right there. Can the Rams punch this one in and tie the game at 24? 1st and goal, 3.5 to play. The Dragons look to be expecting run. It certainly is, as Nick Chubb loses 4. Devontae Wyatt says, no mercy. What a play there by Wyatt. Now 3rd and goal from the 4. 2.5 to go. The Rams have 2 chances here to punch it in and tie it for good. Hennessy under a little pressure. It's in the back of the end zone, incomplete. The Rams have already converted 1 4th down today. Can they get another? The Dragons' run defense has been able to hold them this long. Can they do it for one more play? 4th and goal from the 4. Hennessy looks to throw it under pressure from Blyshenden, and it's caught in the end zone for a touchdown. Dante St. Pierre with an incredible grab. I don't know how he made that play work, but the Los Angeles Rams will tie it at 24. The Dragons are going to get the ball with a little over 2 minutes left. Again, this is not a game they can afford to lose. Losing this game could possibly kill any momentum we've gotten early in this year. So the offense has got to produce. Puma Whitlock needs his biggest drive of the year. From the 25, starting with a run here for Milan Santa. Jukes away, and he gets around 6, and he's hurt. Awesome. So Milan Santa appears to be a little bit dinged up to start the drive. He won't be going to the locker room, though, so he should be fine. But if he misses any time, that's kind of the big deal with how well he's played today. 2nd and 3 now. It's obviously Juskins in the backfield as Puma Whitlock looks to go short. And it's dropped! Arturo Modelo had it right in his hands. That's an easy first down. Nobody's near him. And he drops the ball. That's just a lack of focus from Arturo Modelo. 3rd and 3. Puma under pressure, throws it into the ground as he's hit by Aaron Donald. The Rams get this stop. They'll get the ball back after the 2-minute warning with a chance to win the game. The Dragons can't possibly blow it, right? Up the middle. What a catch. It only goes for 2, but an incredible snag there with one hand. Rams have all 3 timeouts. I don't think the clock is going to be an issue for them, but we'll see if they have the drive in them. On 2nd down, Hennessy up the middle. Fires for his tight end, Cambiz Shakaby, who's hurt. He's had a great day, though, prior to the injury, as the Rams are going to have to call an injury timeout, but they've still got 2 in their back pocket, and they're not that far away from field goal range. Short throw for Washington. He breaks a tackle and is lit up, but that should have been a loss of about 5. That's a net difference of around 8. That's a pretty big deal. 2nd and 7, clock is ticking. 1 minute left to go here in the 4th of the tie game. The rookie, Gavin Hennessy, with still plenty of time, finally under some pressure from Bonnet, and he throws it away. I got to give the coverage some credit. They've been bad throughout the year, but today, they've been able to hold up. 3rd and 7, up the middle, wide open for a first down is Romeo Doubs. Right as I'm gassing him up, the middle of the field is completely wide open for Doubs, and the Rams are just going to let this clock burn. They recognize there's no real reason to let it keep going. The strategy for the Dragons to not call a timeout is we had a feeling the Rams were going to wait till there's around 10 seconds left, kick the field goal, and then the goal is for an offensive prayer. We'll see if the Rams make the kick as it's nearly blocked, but Ryland gets it to go from 46. Ronrakis Barber jumps the snap perfectly, but he misses the block. And the Rams take the lead with 8 seconds left. So realistically, the goal is for a big play downfield. Ideally, that puts us in field goal range, but if not, it gets us a realistic chance at the end zone. Well, that's not going to happen. It's incomplete. There's 4 seconds left. The field goal is dead. The realistic shot for the end zone is dead. It comes down to a Hail Mary. The game on the line for the St. Louis Dragons as Puma Whitlock's going to throw it up. Clock hits 000. It is incomplete. And the Los Angeles Rams steal this game away from the Dragons 24-27. We had the lead the whole time. We were in control the whole game and still lost. The next few minutes might sound a little bit harsh from me, but this is the type of loss that can kill a season. I mean, everything had been going to plan for the most part. We were 3-1. We were playing pretty well. And the last 4 minutes of the game, we completely collapsed. From the drop by Arturo Modelo to the 4th down blunders on defense to the big plays on 3rd down from Gavin Hennessy. We had every chance to win the game and just didn't. And it's unfortunate because Puma Whitlock was fantastic. Minus that play at the end of the first half, he was brilliant. Gavin Hennessy was also brilliant. The rookie with an outstanding debut, having himself a welcome to the NFL moment. Cambiz Shakaby, Romeo Doubs, and Arturo Modelo lead the way receiving-wise. 4 TFLs for Josh Allen, 3 for Bonnet. Bonnet did not have any sacks, although Malachi Weston had 2, while Josh Allen had 2.5, and then there were no turnovers. I don't think our defense has forced a turnover since week 1. Add that along with the poor pass rush today, and that's, well, not a very good combination. So unfortunately, our team's going to get a big loss in morale, and if you guys remember last year, that happened, and that kind of killed our season, so I'm a little bit worried the same could happen again. It says Penultimo Barahona did not complete his breakout challenge. He got the tackle for loss, so he did complete it. So because of that, I am going to give him the star development that he has earned. A rare bright spot in a game where there was really nothing to be happy about with how we lost it. So here's a look at the scores around the league here in Week 5. As for the players of the week, in the NFC, it'll be Jalen Hurts and Ukemi Watkins. In the AFC, Irwin Dundee and Dorian Williams. So let's now focus on our Week 6 game against the San Francisco 49ers. With the Niners having beaten Seattle last week, The winner of this game will take first place in the division. Let's take a look at our morale problem once again, because as I mentioned, morale killed our season last year, and I'm worried it could happen again. We only have one player who is higher than 15. That includes Puma Whitlock. Now, I'm surprised his morale is low, because prior to the game against the Rams, we offered him this contract, 7 years, $420 million. He said no. So in other words, that means he's going to be probably making more than $420 million. But despite that, his morale, along with everybody else's, is still in the toilet. Could this be perhaps a coaching issue? I don't like to blame things on the coaching staff, but the fact that this exact morale issue happened last year and is happening again, it looks like it's an issue of coaching. And as we look at our schedule after the bye week, we have to play the Chiefs, we have to play the Bills. Both of those games are on the road. The schedule gets really tough, and if we lose a few games in a row, Scottie Pickens' job could be in significant trouble. If we lose these next 3 games, or even lose 2 of them, I think Coach Scottie Pickens is gone. So if Coach Pickens possibly coaching for his job, there's going to be a new level of tension within the locker room. That makes this game against the Niners all the more important. They're coming off their biggest win of the year on the road in Seattle, so they've got a little bit of momentum, but still overall have been a little disappointing themselves at 2-3. Obviously led by Brock Purdy at quarterback. Dexter Sanders is taken over as the lead running back over Christian McCaffrey. The Niners, like the Rams, are a really old team. They've kept their core of guys, and they've all aged. Bosa's 30, Warner's 31, McCaffrey's 32, Kittle's 34, Debo's 32. These guys are all getting older, and the roster hasn't exactly aged gracefully with their play over the last 2 seasons. The game's also going to be super rainy, and you'd think the focus should be on running the ball. And yes, we're going to try to establish the run game, but I actually really want to focus on throwing the ball. We're going to go into this Week 6 game with a mindset that we've really never had before. With Coach Scottie Pickens now coaching for his job, and our season in major jeopardy if we lose another game after our horrible loss against the Rams last week, we're kind of going into this game as if it is a revenge tour. We are looking to stomp through anyone in our way. We're not looking to win this game 17-14. We're trying to win this game by 50, and we're not going to let the weather stop us. This is one of the most important early regular season games for the St. Louis Dragons team in a while. We've got to get some momentum before the bye week, or else, for one thing, Scottie Pickens could get fired. Our season could come to a screeching halt, and really the core of this roster might have run its course. So the Dragons are going to start with the ball. Puma Whitlock leads the way. The loss last week was especially unfortunate because we wasted a gem from Puma Whitlock, who was incredible. The Dragons are going to look to set the tone on offense and never let the gas pedal slow down. Puma Whitlock wants it all on the first play of the game. He's got it all! Jameson Williams to the house. 75-yard touchdown. And the Dragons are on the board within 8 seconds. Puma Whitlock specifically wanted to go for the heavens on the first play of the game. He wanted to give the team some early momentum and start this game on a high. That's exactly what they do, with Jameson Williams getting some space, taking it to the crib. Now St. Louis, again, is going to keep the pedal on the metal the entire game. We're not slowing down. St. Louis is going to go balls to the wall today. The play calling is going to be a little bit wild. On second down, Dexter Sanders loses 3. Simeon Bonnet and DJ Orleans lead the way. The defense needs to have high intensity in the run game, and the pass rush cannot duplicate what they did last week. On third down, it's broken up by Owen Popeau. A good first minute. We score and we get a stop. Let's do that for the rest of the game, shall we? 3rd and 8 from the 36. Puma Whitlock's looking short. He's got an open man. It's Milan Santa who gets by the 50 to the 48. Milan Santa is going to get the ball a lot today. The Dragons are going to utilize him a ton in the run game and as a receiver. On 3rd and 8, play action. Puma Whitlock has to throw it in the ground as he's hit by Nick Bosa, who gives him no time to throw the ball. And obviously, as we know, Puma's not exactly Nick Bosa's type. Here comes the field goal unit. 53-yard try for Dicker is up, and it is short. He missed it. Cameron Dicker always has that one game every year on primetime where he forgets how to kick. Usually it's in Seattle, I guess this season it'll be in San Francisco. So that's a big break for the Niners. We cannot afford to have mental mistakes like we did last week because those costed us against the Rams. They may cost us again against better teams like this. On third down, Purdy's picked off by Okudah, but he was out of bounds, which might prove to be a blessing in disguise because he would have been down at like the 5-yard line. 2nd and 2 from the 42. Good starting field position after a bad punt. Puma looks short on the out route. It's Amarion Cephas. He gets the first down to the 42-yard line. So a gain of 18 for Cephas as it's now 2nd and 6. Puma looks to throw it again. Up the middle. Patient as he finds Isaiah Likely, who gets it to the 13-yard line. Puma went through his progressions there. His initial reads were not open, but there was plenty of space in the middle of the field for Isaiah Likely to make the play. 2nd and 10 now from the 13. It's Milan Santa. He's got blocks. Santa pushing forward. He gets the first down to the 2. So far, Santa has been busy and he has been productive. 1st and goal. Can he finish out the drive? Yes, he does. Finds the hole. Pause. And walks through the red carpet into the end zone for a touchdown. The Dragons wanted to set the tone, and they have. They lead 14-0. But remember, we set the tone against the Rams. We were up 17-3. We cannot let go of the gas pedal. Here is Sanders. He loses 3 more. It's Devontae Wyatt who brings him down. The run defense has been excellent so far today. They have been aggressive and getting off of their blocks quickly. 3rd and 8. Purdy looks to throw. It goes downfield. It's broken up by Okudah. Brock Purdy's 0 for 4 so far. The coverage has been really good. Got to stick onto these receivers. We need maximum effort from the secondary, especially the corners. Dragons back with it. 3rd and 23 after an intentional grounding. It's a screen for Santa. He gets 7, and Puma Whitlock is hurt. Doesn't look like a serious injury for Puma. He's cramping up a little bit, but he does look frustrated on the sideline. I think Puma Whitlock kind of knows the intensity of this game and how important it is, and he wants to be on the field every snap possible. Niners back with it after forcing their first punt of the game. Dexter Sanders finally gets a first down for San Francisco. It took the entire quarter. Of course, here is Puma Whitlock, his diagnosis. We're going to keep Puma in the game, but we're going to be cautious. A lot of short passes, and we're going to rely on the run more than ever. Final play of the first quarter. Purdy's pass is caught, but for a loss of yards. That's his first completion of the game. Through the first quarter, Brock Purdy has -1 yards. The Dragons have been dominant on both sides of the ball. They have more touchdowns than first downs allowed, but we've got to keep it going. We're keeping the same level of intensity, if not more. Purdy's screen is off the mark under a ton of pressure, and Brock Purdy is now 1 for 7. Dragons back with it. 3rd and 6 from the 38. Short throw. Caught by Juskins. He breaks a tackle, but he's unable to get the conversion. He is wrapped up after a gain of 4. So it's 4th and 2 with the Dragons 43, and they're going to go for it. I said earlier, the play calling is going to be balls on the wall, and sure enough, they convert with Mixon, who gets it past midfield for a gain of 10. We're going to be ultra aggressive with the play calling. We want to take San Francisco out of this game as early as possible. We don't want to leave the door open in the 4th quarter like we did for the Rams. Here's Juskins up the middle. He brings it to the 20-yard line. The run game's been really effective so far. Milan Santa's been really good. Juskins with some plays. Here's Jamison Williams. He is flipped over. Gets it to the 9, but unfortunately, Sharif Sully, the left tackle, is hurt. Sully signed an $80 million contract in the offseason and has been worth every penny. He hasn't allowed a sack yet this season and has been one of our team's best players, but unfortunately he bruised his sternum and is out for the game. Pea Puietatia will play at left tackle the rest of the way. Puma's calling a ton of audibles here on 2nd and goal, as he will have an open man. It's Jamison Williams for the touchdown. Very smart play there by Puma Whitlock. He had Jamo and Modelo lined up to the left. He knew one of them was going to be open. He had Modelo going for the streak route, and he had Jamison Williams going for the out route. He figured either the back of the end zone or the side of the end zone would be open, and ultimately the side with Jamison Williams was wide open. He comes down with it. Heads up play there by Puma Whitlock, and it's 20-0, and it will stay 20-0 because Cameron Dicker misses another kick. Wide right. He has now missed a field goal and an extra point, but nonetheless, the Dragons have a dominant lead. Niners back with it. Purdy misfires on 2nd down. He had Debo wide open. I get the defense has been really good, but Brock Purdy has not done himself any favors, as you could see there. 3rd and 4 now. Purdy goes short. It is caught for a first down. That's Brock Purdy's first pass to go for forward progress. You at home had more passing yards than Brock Purdy through the first 16 minutes of the game. On 3rd down, he goes up the middle for his tight end, George Kittle, to the 31. Purdy is now 3 for 13. Progress at the 2-minute warning. 3rd and 3. Purdy up the middle for Kittle. Again, he gets the first down, but unfortunately for San Francisco, he's hurt, grabbing at his lower leg, and will be removed from the game. He will not return. Big loss for the Niners, as it's now 3rd and 4. Trying to find the end zone for the first time, but Purdy misfires. Clear miscommunication there. Okudah, I feel like, could have made a play on the ball had Purdy timed it well anyway. And that'll bring out the field goal unit. Here's Jake Moody, and he finally puts the Niners on the board as it's 20-3. The Dragons have 1:17 and all 3 timeouts to look to add to this lead. And again, you know they're going to look to be aggressive. Puma under a ton of pressure on first down. He's sacked by Nick Bosa. It's going to be a loss of around 7. Clock is chewing. 2nd down. Here's Milan Santa with plenty of room. He gets the first to the 39 as Kitty Waters is hurt for the Niners. They'll have to use a timeout. That stops the clock after the gain of 21 yards for Milan Santa. Following play, it's going to be a screen for Santa. The Dragons want to keep getting him the ball because it keeps working. He gets another first. St. Louis calls their first timeout with 32 seconds left. Now down to 27. 2nd and 10. Puma all alone here in the backfield. It's 5 wide as he backs up in the pocket, goes up the middle, fires for the rookie, Jalen Mallard, who seems to have one home run play every week. He brings it to the 23. St. Louis immediately calls their second timeout. They're now down to 19 seconds. Following play, Puma's got Colin Robinson. He's looking for the sidelines, but instead he's going to find the end zone for the touchdown. We were trying to have Colin Robinson run horizontally so he could go out of bounds, but he had enough space to take it all the way, so he figured, why not? Let's do it. It's now 26-3. The Dragons are going to go for 2. Milan Santa has it, trying to power his way in, and he does. The Dragons just want it more tonight. They lead 28-3. I guess Kyle Shanahan does know a thing or two about 28-3 as the Niners have it back with 8 seconds left. They're just going to wave the light flag, running the ball here with McCaffrey. And now with 3 seconds, they are going to call a timeout. From their own 45, they're going to bring the field goal unit on. This is a 72-yard field goal for Jake Moody. And the kick is no good, obviously. We did not have anybody back there to return it because I didn't think they were actually going to kick it. So that'll wrap up the first half. The Dragons lead 28-3. We're going into this half with the mindset that we're down 20. We got to keep the same level of intensity in the second half because it seems like every time we're up by 15, 20 points at halftime, the game ends up being a lot closer than it should be. And as we saw last week, it costed us a win against the Rams. Here's a look at the scores around the rest of the league. Obviously, with this being the Monday night game, the rest of the slate has already wrapped up. Seattle lost to the Dolphins, so the Seahawks have now lost 3 in a row. And it seems like the NFC West is going to be a whole lot worse than it was a season ago. Last year, we had 3 teams end up making the playoffs. This year, at this point, we'll be lucky to have 1 with everybody shooting themselves in the foot. I said I wanted to keep the same level of intensity in the second half, but I will say the play calling will not be the same. We are up by 25. We have to be smart. We're going to be running the ball a lot. We cannot get careless with the football. And then defensively, obviously the Niners are going to throw the ball a lot. Our pass defense has been unbelievable. Our run defense has been unbelievable. And we've done it with no sacks and no turnovers so far. Just straight vibes is on 3rd and 1. Sanders does not get the first down. Jabril, Fana is there with the stop. And the Niners are going to have to start with a punt. And they would ultimately completely shank it. So much so that the Dragons had trouble catching it, but they do with Mallard. So as you can see, nothing is going well for San Francisco. That continues to be the case. And part of this is that the Dragons have played legitimately a perfect first half, but the Niners also look dreadful. On 3rd and 12, it's a screen for Milan Santa. He gets around 6. So the Niners do get the stop there, and that'll lead to a punt As I said, the Dragons are going to be conservative with the play calling, despite the fact that they're keeping the same identity that they had in the first half. On first down, it's a short throw for the fullback, and he loses two. It's Fofana again who brings him down, but unfortunately Malachi Weston is hurt, and he's going to the locker room. A serious injury for Weston really could damper the result of this game, as it is now 3rd and 12. Up the middle with McCaffrey. They really are waving the white flag with 6 to go in the third by just running the ball up the middle. So the Dragons are going to get it back after another shanked punt, as it's a handoff for Milan Santa on first down. Running by defenders. He's wrapped up by Talanoa Hufanga, but not before bringing it to the 27-yard line. Santa with over 100 scrimmage yards today. Now from the 1, 1st and goal. Can St. Louis add to their lead? It is Juskins who loses 4. San Francisco's not going to make it that easy. After an intentional grounding, it's 3rd and goal at the 15. Puma has an open man. It's Isaiah Likely who is in for a score. And the Dragons add to their lead. It's 35-3. That's Isaiah Likely's first touchdown all season. And with that, St. Louis is up by 32. I wouldn't be surprised to see the backups in soon. But as long as the starters are in, we're still going 150%. Darius Eel loses 4. It's Simeon Bonnet and DJ Orleans who bring him down. 3rd down and 14 now. Purdy, I think, still is about 30 yards, by the way. He still hasn't been sacked, though, as he throws it away. 7 of 22, 37 yards. The coverage has been unbelievable today. St. Louis back with it with around 30 seconds left in the third. Here's Arturo Modelo. Gets lit up after a gain of 8. That's a dislocated shoulder for Modelo. His day is done. Shouldn't be a serious injury, though. He'll likely be good to go for next week. Now a first down. Final play of the quarter. Puma's in the zone, by the way. As Darwin Juskins has it, he gets around 4, and Isaiah Likely is hurt. So, of course, right when everything's going well for the Dragons, it looks like we're not going to blow this game. The injuries are flying in. First it was Weston. Then it was Modelo. Now it's Likely, along with Sharif Sully in the first half. 3rd and 5. Puma misfires for Gift Aaron Jr., and now Milan Santa's hurt. Enough of this. The backups are coming in the game pronto. Anyway, here's the field goal unit. 47-yard try for Dicker is good, and it's now 38-3. I do have some good news on the injury front. Our 5 key starters who got injured are all out for the game, but they're all going to be back next week. I'm most surprised with Malachi Weston. The turf toe sounds pretty rough, but it looks like he's going to play through it. So the Dragons now have pretty much all of their backups in for the most part on defense. A couple starters still left, but all of their key guys are out of the game. So now the Niners are looking to stat pad here against second stringers, and they're doing a good job bringing it to the 26-yard line. That's Kion Clark, the former number 1 recruit out of high school. Brock Purdy pretty much doubling his passing yards total on one play. Play action. Purdy looks to throw it under pressure. He's sacked by Nnamdi Sanaga. The starters could not get a sack through 3 quarters. The backups come in, get a sack immediately, and Brock Purdy is hurt. He goes to the sideline, and there's a new quarterback in for San Francisco. 2nd and 17. Short throw is caught by Sanders, who loses 4. What a hit by Jalen Bourgeois, one of the few starters still in. Off the pass from Coland Keaton Givian, the backup quarterback here for San Francisco. 3rd and 21. He goes on the slant route for Deebo Samuel, who gets around 10. Quickly stopped by the rookie, DeMar Knight. That'll make it 4th and 11. The Niners are obviously going to go for it. They have nothing to lose. As the pass is caught for a first down, and they will bring it to around the 6-yard line, breaking tackles. That is Tui, the backup tight end, replacing George Kittle. 2nd and goal now, 5.5 to play. 38-3. It's a play action under pressure, and it's a sack for Orland Babylon. The backups are making all these plays, rushing the quarterback, yet Malachi Weston and Simeon Bonnet couldn't do this earlier. 3rd and goal now from the 14. The Niners are just going to run the ball again. Here's Sanders, though, with a big gain. He gets it to the 3, wrapped up by Trey Flynn. And San Francisco's just going to kick the ball. They just want extra points. Chad Ryland from around 20. It is good, and that'll make it 38-6. So the Dragons' backups have been chewing clock for around a couple of minutes. We're at the 2-minute warning. They have it at midfield. It's 4th and 2. They just want to end this game. They're going to go for it. Joe Mixon gets it, and that will do it. I don't think I can count, even with one hand, the amount of times the Dragons have had a game this year where from start to finish, they look completely dominant. Well, that's what we did today, and that's what we needed. After being embarrassed by the Los Angeles Rams a week ago, we knew we had to keep our pedal on the metal the entire way, and technically we didn't. We could have won this game by more had we not chewed the clock the entire fourth quarter and put the backups in, but still, we outgained them by nearly 300 yards. Just an all-out domination. Puma Whitlock was brilliant, and he did it against a great defense with so many playmakers throwing for 4 touchdowns. Brock Purdy, not good. Our coverage was great. The pass rush, despite the lack of sacks, was really good. Obviously, the run defense was really good, although, again, Purdy himself did not do himself a whole lot of favors. None of our skill position players really stood out other than Milan Santa. I said we were going to give him the ball a lot. He got 18 touches for around 130 yards, really producing. And then defensively, we didn't put up the big numbers, only 2 sacks, no turnovers. But look, that didn't matter. Our defense was brilliant. Cam Dicker did miss a couple of kicks, but ultimately it doesn't matter. We win by 32. Now, unfortunately, the goal with the rain game scenario was that we had to throw for 300 yards. And I think we had like 290 passing yards or something close. So unfortunately, we don't complete the challenge. The good news, though, as I mentioned, of all of our injuries, nobody's going to be out next week. Everybody's back. Here's a look at the results around the league here in Week 6. We already saw them earlier with the Monday Night Football halftime graphic, but if you want to look at it again. As for the players of the week, of course, Puma Whitlock with his 4 touchdowns headlines the list, along with Tua Tagovailoa, Corbin Sheffield, and Malcolm Rodriguez. And I feel like Puma's really putting together an MVP season. He has been marvelous this year. His contract is going up and up and up as if it could get any higher. And with that, we're 4-2. We comfortably lead the division. I still feel antsy about the game against the Rams, and our team's momentum and morale still is pretty low. But the win against the Niners certainly helps. That'll bring us into the bye week. Hopefully, the emotions of the last 2 weeks can calm down and neutralize as we head out to Kansas City and Buffalo to face off against Mahomes and Allen. And that's along with the trade deadline as well in the next episode. Where do you guys think this team needs to add to? Let me know down below in the comment section. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.